So what are some things that you may have overlooked or possibly completely forgotten in your preparedness journey? I don't think there's any question in anybody's mind that the world that we're living in is just getting a little bit more stupid each and every day. We've got pipelines that are being hacked and shut down. We've got every single day we wake up and it's, have we entered World War III yet? We could go on and on. Food plants burning down, the power grid being stressed with this huge heat wave that we've been having, thing after thing after thing. So today we're going to talk about 5 things that you may have overlooked that would be a good idea to add to your preps. And don't worry, these are inexpensive, won't cost you a whole lot of money, and they're pretty easy and readily available today. Even if it's not for some end of the world type situation, remember, normal stuff happens on normal days. So let's get started with number 1, cleaning supplies. Come on, man, regular cleaning supplies. I'm talking your Dawn dish soap. I'm talking your Tide for your washing machine, bleach, just regular hand soap and bath soap, those type of things. And think a little bit further beyond just the cleaning stuff up. But what if things really get bad? Those heavy duty contractor bags, what if things get bad enough where you might have a corpse that you've got to deal with in some way, shape, or form? I hope that never happens, but it's cheap insurance, and if you need all the other stuff, you're probably going to need those contractor bags too. Paper goods. What am I talking about? Y'all remember the toilet paper shortages in 2020? It wasn't even an emergency and stuff just ran completely out. So do you have enough toilet paper to last you a while? Paper towels. Along with paper goods, I'm going to talk about your throwaway dishes, right? Paper bowls, paper plates, plastic cups, forks, knives, spoons, all of the things that we use to eat with, right? If something goes down, the last thing we want to do is be worrying about extra dishes. Yeah, there's the stuff we're going to cook in, and we're still going to have to worry about that. But just having extra dishes that you can just throw away, toss it in a burn barrel, put it in the trash. I don't care what you do with it. The point is, it's single use, disposable, and we're not going to have to worry about it. What about batteries? The batteries for the stuff we use every single day. And here's the kicker. If you actually need these for a preparedness situation, you're going to need a bunch more than what you actually use on a normal basis. Now this, your normal stuff, your AA, your AAA batteries, you better make sure and have some extra 9-volt batteries for your smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors, all of that stuff. And remember, just like the thing I'm talking on to you right now, a smartphone. We live connected lives, right? So some extra battery packs and stuff to keep your phone and your devices charged, and dedicated cords that don't get touched unless it's an emergency to go with those. Have a way to keep your phone, your tablet, whatever it is, whatever devices you use, have a way to keep those running. What I generally do is I just order them off of Amazon. I get the Amazon Basics batteries. They're inexpensive. Do they last as long as the Duracell or Energizers or whatever like that? I don't know, but they seem to do all right for us. We just buy them in bulk. I think they come 25 per pack, and we throw them in storage. This is something you're going to have to keep rotated. They say there's a 10-year shelf life. I don't know. After a year or so, I use them and then replace the ones that we've got in storage. AA, AAA, 9-volt, and CR123s to go in your Surefire stuff, if you have that. The CR123s, I like that 18650 batteries because they're rechargeable, but what I keep in storage and a good stock supply of is the actual CR123 batteries. Different brands don't matter so much. I have had the best luck with Surefire batteries, but they're expensive. So what do I buy? I just get the ones, the cheap ones off of Amazon, and they seem to work just fine. Next, medications. Talking your OTC meds, your prescription meds, all of that stuff, your tummy meds, your headache meds, ibuprofen, Tylenol, Excedrin, upset stomach stuff, if you use Epsom salt or something in the bath or anything like that. And with your prescription meds, talk to your doctor. Most doctors will give you an extended supply of your necessary medications. If they don't, maybe it's time to find another doctor. With medications, I'm going to differ just a little bit from what I did before. Everything else, as long as you got 30 days or so, you're probably pretty good. Medications, I want to push you out to 90 days. 90 days. Once again, keep this stuff rotated. There's different thoughts on how long prescription medications last. Do your own research. I know it's a little bit different with some of them. Do your own research, make your own decisions, and kind of determine what your risk tolerance is on that. Fuel, 30 days worth of fuel. At minimum, 30 days worth of fuel. What am I talking about here? Whatever your vehicle runs, whether that be gasoline, diesel, or both. Propane, for cook stoves and heaters, but propane for your little, buddy heaters and, the cook stoves and camp stoves and lanterns. And we even have a mosquito fogger that runs on propane, the little small canisters. So keep a good supply of that. What about firewood? Firewood is also fuel. So stack up that. And as I'm recording this, it's August. It's a little late in the year to be buying firewood and hope it's going to be dry before you need it. However, it is still going to be a lot cheaper to buy it now than when you absolutely need it in February and your power's gone out. How do I store fuel? I store fuel relatively simple. For storage, 5-gallon NATO jerry cans. If you're going to buy these, I'm not going to open this up because it'll spew everywhere, even though it just has a small amount in it. We got to take this thing and fill it up. This is one of our rotation cans. Buy 12 of these. If you can't afford these, this is the best option out there. If you can't afford these, buy whatever you can, right? But buy 12 cans. Label them 1 through 12. Fill one up each month. So in January, you dump number 1 in your truck and then go refill it. That keeps you an entire 60 gallons of fuel on hand, ready to go, and it never sits in the can for longer than a year. What I use to stabilize it is Pri-G. For diesel, Pri-D. Sta-Bil, Seafoam, you can use all of that stuff. If you want the one thing that's going to work and work perfectly, Pri-G. I've never had any gas go bad with that. The final thing I'm going to offer you is just what I call odds and ends, bits and pieces. This is just the things that commonly go wrong that need fixed. If you have a well, you need the basic parts to fix your well, right? You need some little bits and pieces of pipe and fittings and pipe dope and those sort of things. Have an extra gauge on hand, an extra pressure switch. Might be a good idea to have a few extra breakers sitting around for if one of those goes bad. An outlet. Just little odds and ends. Building supplies, plywood, 2x4s, that sort of thing. The little odds and ends that tend to go out at the worst time possible, like it's the Friday of a 3-day holiday weekend and there isn't anybody that's going to be open that's going to have that particular part in stock, or a service person that's going to be able to come out and fix that. Capacitors and contactors for your central heat and air unit. Extension cords, because things just go bad now and then. So look at across everything you've got. Nails, extra gate hinges, fence chargers. I had to replace, I've got one sitting just over here to my left that I had to replace the other day. It just quit working, and that's the way those go. They work perfect, and then boom, you come outside and they're not working. Keep an extra one of those on hand. If you want to be a real baller and you've got a shallow well, get an extra pump. Maybe you have a booster pump, an extra booster pump. Just buy one of the cheap ones from Harbor Freight. They work just fine. But take a look at the things that you expect to replace throughout the year and go ahead and pick up an extra one of those. An extra serpentine belt for your car. Little things like that, as well as if you've got 160,000 miles on your car and you've never replaced the alternator, you might give that some thought, right? Bits and pieces, odds and ends, call it whatever you want. I don't care. But have those extra things and the ability to either repair, fix, get going until Tuesday when the serviceman can get out, or just outright replace them if need be. All right, guys, well, do me a favor. If you got any value from this at all, I really want to grow the channel. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button. You've made it this far in the video. It's not going to hurt you. It costs $0 to do that, and hit the thumbs up as well. Anyway, until next time, you be safe.